we're going to be talking about an AI stock that I believe not a lot of people are talking about and should be talked about more, that can revolutionize your bank. Now, let's start off with the reality of the market right now, right? The market is obviously not in a good place. There's a lot of uncertainty around tariffs in China, in Canada, and Mexico from the US. So the market is down, caused uncertainty from the one and only Donald Trump. Now, the reaction that, the market has across the board with uncertainty has nothing to do with how good or the production of a certain, company, right? I mean, just because tariffs are going up in Mexico and Canada, that doesn't mean much if you're getting your imports from South America. Now, it's just a little thing. Or if you're an American company and all your manufacturing is done in America, you're not really worried about, tariffs from another country. So, I mean, the most important thing to look at in NA stock is to see, what their goal is, what they're going to do for the future. And, if the real world news that's impacting the market right now is really impacting them. And if it doesn't, then, that's a place where you should be buying for value, as we're in a market correction right now. And, a lot of people believe we could be heading into a recession because of the tariffs or whatever reason. But, it's most important that you look at in any company that you're going to buy, what is the effect it's going to be on the future in 10 years, right? Because, I mean, if you're in this channel and you're an investor and you're like me, 18 years old, a young investor in the market, you're not investing for today or whatever. You're investing for the future. You're investing for the next 10 years. You're not putting your money's worth in and taking it out in 5 years. No, you're taking this money that you're building up and putting it in the stock market because it's a reliable market and proven. The Dow always has gone up with, I think it's 13% every year, or 13% in the 5 years. The Dow always, will prevail. The market will always prevail in the long run. So that's why you're here. Now, let's talk about this AI stock that I believe is something that you should definitely have at least on your watch list, as we are going through an AI evolution right now. And that is the one and only Taiwan Semiconductor. Here we have the one and only Taiwan Semiconductor. And if you don't know much about this stock, I've talked about this stock a couple times in my last video. But to get right straight into it, this stock is the manufacturer for AI chips and for chips in general for the NVIDIA and Apple primarily, right? It's still getting into other big companies. Right now their main producers are, I believe, Google and Google's in there too, but primarily it's Apple and NVIDIA. And obviously, NVIDIA has a bunch of clients such as Amazon that buys their chips. So, in terms of going through the top here, Taiwan Semiconductor is the maker. NVIDIA sends their prototype and Apple sends their prototype to Taiwan Semiconductor. And the Taiwan Semiconductor makes the chip for them. They're the manufacturing for them and produces it, right? AI chips, Blackwell chips, which is the new AI that NVIDIA has made, it's going to be in high production. It's going to be in high demand because AI is only getting stronger and bigger, and only big companies are only want to grow their AI. So what does that mean for a company like the Taiwan Semiconductor, which makes the chips? It means they're going to have more chips to make and they're going to build their revenue. Now, why is it not talked about that much? It's got a lot of issues, right? It's obviously, every stock has its reasons. I mean, even NVIDIA right now is dropping a lot. So what is the problem with the Taiwan Semiconductor? Well, let's start off with the fact that it's in Taiwan. Obviously the biggest issue right now in the American market in the American market right now is tariffs. And tariffs, you know, affect a lot of things, are affecting the whole market right now, especially Nvidia. Nvidia's taking one of the biggest hits. So obviously the Taiwan Semiconductor will go down, right down with it. Apple's taking a hit. So how much more are Apple and Nvidia gonna have to pay for the Taiwan Semiconductor to pay to get their chip made, right? And for them to send their chips to America? Obviously, it's gonna be higher. The tariff is obviously gonna be more expensive, right? Nvidia will have to spend more on getting those chips to America. Well, this is why, in a recent article made, so as we can see here, right, Trump announces $100 billion investment in U.S. from TSMC, which is the Taiwan Semiconductor, and calls it the most powerful company in the world. It sounds pretty good to me. So what the Taiwan Semiconductor is doing with this $100 billion investment from Taiwan is they are setting up, as you can see here, it supplies the likes of Nvidia and Apple for AI use, which is obviously, the future here. This is what we should be looking at exactly in investing. These are the type of companies that are going to blow up along with Nvidia and Apple. And so it's investing in a capital facility in Arizona, which will be total $165 billion. 5 new fabrication facilities. What does that mean? It means there won't be any tariffs. There's no tariffs go sent from Arizona to New York. Tariff or wherever the headquarters of Apple and Nvidia are. There's no tariff from Arizona in any part of the U.S. So I love that. This is good news for the stock, in my opinion. And I bought it today. I talk a lot about with you guys the stocks that I buy and what I like to see from stocks. And I bought it today. I bought it at around 170. Currently, it's after hours. I bought it at 172. I think I bought it, around here. So I bought 5 shares. So if you're going to going through this ladder with me, I think this is a great opportunity to buy the stock. It's at a real low right now in the last 3 months. It's literally hitting its peak and low. And that, in my opinion, and as I said before, and as any investor, kind of preaches, is that, you never want to buy at a high. People are selling off a lot right now. A lot of stocks are being sold off because of the tariffs, and everyone's scared of the tariffs. This is a great opportunity to buy. Obviously, the smarter thing to do, you can see here the breaking headline, people are big sell off on Monday. So I'm recording this video on Monday, March 3rd, and tomorrow the tariff is supposed to be imposed on Canada and Mexico, and it has not been imposed yet on China. But I would obviously maybe wait if you want to see that, but I shouldn't affect the stock, obviously, if we're building facilities in Arizona. And I feel like eventually, the Taiwan Semiconductor could easily be bought. Maybe not so easily if they're spending $100 billion, and it's obviously a multi-billion-dollar company. But I don't know, who knows? Nvidia, Apple, they have the money. Microsoft, obviously they've been in the game longer. So in terms of, its PE is relatively low here. Price per earnings, this is nothing compared to, the stocks that we look at, that I like to look at mostly, which is Palantir. I believe Nvidia must be around this PE too, but it's selling at a very good low here. Very good low. As you can see in the last 6 months, it's hasn't really done much, but this is a great investment that it's made on the U.S. Trump called it the biggest company in the world, and he hates this company. Let's go back here, most powerful company in the world, and repeatedly called out, accused Taiwan of stealing the U.S. chip manufacturing, and touted tariffs on semiconductors. So he's been trying to get this over, and the CEO, he's making sure that he understands where the world is heading, and where Trump wants the world to head, and that is the U.S. Right? That's Trump's whole point of this, is to get manufacturing companies and to have companies stay in the U.S. so that at a certain point the U.S. doesn't have to rely on anyone else but itself. That's the whole point of what Trump is trying to do. And the Taiwan Semiconductor is doing right what he wants. They're building facilities in the U.S. This is a smart thing to do for any company, in my opinion. No one is really expanding business, right? I mean, there's no companies that are expanding businesses right now because they are uncertain, right? They don't know. Why would I expand my business if I don't know how much it's going to cost me to bring in that unit that I need for a certain chip or whatever the case may be, or even a chair, whatever company you're in. Why would you expand your business if you're uncertain how much you're going to have to spend on that tomorrow with the tariffs, or next week if China gets imposed, or the next month if another country that you're importing from gets tariffed from the U.S. This is the recipe. This is exactly what you want to do. You want to put your manufacturing in the U.S. You have to abide by Trump's rules at this point, because he is going all out. It's his last 4 years. This is the last time that he's ever going to have a say in anything. Obviously, he's going to go all out, and he's already been starting to do. It's already been the first 6 months, and look what he's done. Not even 6 months. So obviously, if you're playing the game here, you're playing the AI game, you're playing the long game here, the Taiwan Semiconductor is doing just that. I don't see a world where in a year, because maybe in 6 months, whatever, in a year, once these facilities have been made and have been brought out and the semiconductor is producing massive production because AI is only going to improve, I don't see the stock, going down. And obviously I like the Apples and the Nvidias right now, especially Nvidia. You could buy at a really low right now. I'm recording this video. I would wait for Nvidia. I think it could plummet a little more, especially with the Chinese tariffs not imposed yet. So they're also been the most scared. But the Taiwan Semiconductor, in my opinion, has played the Trump game to a T. And I think, I'm gonna show you some clips of what he has said about the conductor. But I believe that he thinks that he obviously thinks it's the most powerful company in the world. And I think that them coming to him can only, you want to be on Trump's good side every time. You don't ever want to be, on the bad side. And you obviously saw that, with the Ukraine situation, how much he doesn't really care. I feel did not like, obvious. I'm not going to speak much on that, but I did not like the way he handled the situation, obviously. And, I feel very bad for Ukraine and what they're going through right now. But it's just to show how much, Trump doesn't care. And if you're either his friend or you hate him, or he hates you. And he probably doesn't like, clearly he doesn't like the Taiwan Semiconductor because of what they've been doing and the tariffs he's trying to make on them and calling them stealing U.S. chip manufacturing business. So why don't just go to him? So I think this is a great investment from the Taiwan Semiconductor, and I believe that going forward, this will only expand the company, and I think they're playing the good game with Trump, which will only benefit them, and especially the U.S. Even just going and putting production on the U.S. is, even once the 4 years passes, is obviously going to make it's obviously a better investment for the future. I'm a little scared because companies like Nvidia and Apple may go to to Taiwan Semiconductor because of how a little more cheaper it is. Obviously, the labor and the minimum wage in Taiwan is not as not as big as it is here in the U.S. So, in terms of how far the Taiwan Semiconductor goes for pricing ranges is not to my knowledge, and I feel like that's another down. I mean, that's another not. I guess it's a negative for them, but regardless, I feel, especially as a young investor, you want to invest in risky companies, right? We have time to lose money. I'm sorry, but or to put in money. You don't have to buy 10 shares here, or whatever. I mean, usually. I mean, I'm speaking in terms of like my dad here, who's an investor in the market. Obviously he's not buying. He'll probably buy. Who knows how many shares? Definitely more than 50. We're not a great investor here. We don't have to. We can take chances. We're spending 3 shares, 5 shares of a stock. I feel like you have to take chances as a young investor, especially in going into this AI race. It's just great, at the long run, it could lose $500, and at the end of the day, in 5-10 years, it probably won't matter if you're smart about your money in general. And obviously, if you are investing in the market, then you don't need the money now. Like it's not like you're taking money out in a year or 2 years, even 3 years. You shouldn't be taking that money out until 5 years, until you actually need something, a car, a house, a loan, or like whatever. So I think this is a great company, as young investors as we are in today's day and world, to invest in. And I believe that the greater it gets, the more money you will make. And at the end of the day, I know everyone's really scared about what's happening in the market, but you have to just focus on what you can control and your beliefs and how you're going to run the market. And your belief should be invest in companies that have future, and always invest for the long run, right? You cannot expect to make money short term in the market. No one here is a professional trader or day trader, right? You have to, that's just, even then, people who are in that business lose a lot of money every day, even the successful ones. You can never, no one knows where the stock is going to go. Nothing is guaranteed. But I can tell you that if you, invest in the market long run, it more than 50% of the time you will make money. And that's why, obviously, it's such a big thing, I guess, in the U.S. and whatever, because people make money off of it in the long run. You're not here for, tomorrow. You're not here for 3 months. So I love this company. It has a lot of the things that I like in terms of future, in terms of, really good value right now. I mean, as you can see, it's just 6 months ago, you could have bought it at the same value. So even then, 6 months, it still went up. In a year, it's gone up, 40. 5 years is obviously going to dominate. I like this company because of the progression. I really like the news that they came out today. I feel like they're playing the smart game with Trump. If you're playing smart with Trump, look at crypto. The only reason crypto right now is even remotely alive is because of Trump. I don't like crypto, but I may invest in it. There's a 50-50. I will invest in it. I don't like it, but it's obvious. It's super risky. I mean, even last week it got hacked, and stock dropped a bunch, and then Trump called it a crypto reserve, and then boom, it went up. He just literally it's just on your side. If he's on the company side, you will make money. Your company will make money. That's why I really like Bitcoin right now, but even today it's down a lot. So it's one of the riskier stocks. But another piece of advice I can give you as young investors who watch my channel is, ask your friends, what they invest in, because I know a lot of people, or what their parents invest in, or what you think that you are using today in today's day and world that will never go away and will benefit you for a while, and has it has to have a technology, like whatever company you're investing in now has to have something to do with technology, because at the end of the day, a bunch of jobs will be lost in the AI race. We're gonna have AI bots, which will do jobs better than other people. A lot of brokers, when people believe brokers are gonna go out of business, people believe, I believe that Uber drivers will go out of business, DoorDash, whatever. Customer service will go out of business real quick. Anything related to a lot of the, I guess, the easier job, not easier jobs, but just there's just certain jobs that can be done by AI more efficiently, and it will be, and every job can be done more efficiently than AI, except for hands-on stuff. So the most important thing for you is to realize where the world is heading, and you have to just understand that we're in an AI world and tech world. So I love the stock. I love the fact that obviously don't be scared of the market right now. Just keep an eye on it. Watch CNBC, see what they say. But you are in a good position as a young investor in today's world to be investing. You are in a great world where the market is dropping, so you have value, and the market is scared, so you can understand how a market what might react to a recession, how it might feel about a recession. So as a young investor, I believe you're in a great world. So here I have the clip on ABC News of Trump talking about chip maker, the Taiwan Semiconductor. So let's watch it.
You would say, wow, he's a legend, but he is a legend, and it's an honor to be with you. Very great honor. Thank you very much.
Mr. President.
Thank you very much. Welcoming from TSMC, which is the biggest there is, at a level that you can't even calculate, frankly. CC Wei to the White House for a very historic announcement. This is a tremendous thing for our country and hopefully for his company. We're also pleased to be joined by Commerce Secretary Howard Lutnick and White House AI and SIP, the crypto czar David Sachs, another two very highly respected people. It's great to have you guys. We have some good people. Today, Taiwan Semiconductor is announcing that they will be investing at least $100 billion in new capital in the United States over the next short period of time to build state-of-the-art semiconductor manufacturing facilities. I think mostly it's going to be in Arizona, which is what I understand, which is a great state. The most powerful AI chips in the world will be made right here in America. And it'll be a big percentage of the chips made by his company. But as you know, they're based mostly in Taiwan. And they're far and away the biggest. There's nobody even close. This $100 billion in new investment will go into building 5 cutting-edge fabrication facilities in the great state that we just discussed, Arizona, and will create thousands of jobs, many thousands of jobs, and the high-paying jobs. In total, today's announcement brings Taiwan Semiconductor investments to about $165 billion they've started already. Among the largest new foreign direct investments in the United States, Apple, as you know, made a big announcement last week of $500 billion, and we have some others that have announced. We have many that...
You're doing well here. They have the Taiwan Semiconductor CEO is with Trump right now. It doesn't get better than this for them. It really doesn't. You're playing the Trump game, right? You're investing money into the U.S. This is only going to grow. I love this from the Taiwan Semiconductor. This is the best move they could have made. They keep putting $100 billion is he just said it, one of the biggest investments they've been made. It's looking really good. I like it a lot. I believe the CEO of TSM, Trump just ended up, has been glazing it for the last 10 minutes. So, I feel like the relationship is good. If they maintain the relationship, I feel like the stock will continue to soar.
This is a tremendous move by the most powerful company in the world. It's a matter of economic security. It's also a matter of national security for us. And at the same time, Mr. Wei will be able to diversify and have a tremendous presence in another place, and a very safe place. And I want to thank Taiwan Semiconductor for doing the announcement. And I'd like to ask Mr. Wei to say a few words, if you might. And
I didn't know that your title.
I love this lad.
Okay. First, I want to say thank you to Mr. President to give me this opportunity to announce our big
He said thank you
in the U.S.
That's important.
TSMC, we are going to build 3 more new fabs. After we promised the 3 fabs already, and another 2 very advanced packaging fab, and most important, R&D center also in Arizona. For this, all the investment, $165 billion, is going to create thousands of the high-paid jobs, as the president just announced. And we are, most important, actually, we are going to produce many AI chips. We are going to produce many chips to support the AI progress and to support the smartphones progress.
Smartphones progress, AI chips progress, more AI chips being made in the U.S., and more jobs to the U.S. economy. It doesn't get better than what this lad is doing for the U.S. and for the lad Trump. And obviously, he's it's great news. Great news. I really like this stock, and I'm really happy with watching this video.
And
as an investor in the TSM, if you are tailing, you should be too.
President Trump
Tail don't fade.
For his support. In addition, I also want to thank my customers in the U.S., such as Apple, NVIDIA, AMD, Qualcomm, Broadcom. They all support TSMC's manufacturing.
That's literally the top 5 top 10. They're all in the top 10. AMD, Broadcom, Apple, NVIDIA. Those are all, if you are in the AI world and you are in the AI investing world, you know those 5 companies. That's the chip maker. The maker of it all. And the demand is only going to go up for these chips. And now that it's going to, it might cost less because of the tariffs. Maybe it might cost less to in the U.S. to make, even though the jobs are, obviously the labor is higher. Since to ship, it will probably be cheaper.
In the U.S.
President Trump has made it a fundamental objective to bring semiconductor chip manufacturing home to America. Under the Biden administration, TSMC received a $6 billion grant, and that encouraged them to build $65 billion. So America gave TSMC 10% of the money to build here. And now you're seeing the power of Donald Trump's presidency, because TSMC, the greatest manufacturer of chips in the world, is coming to America with a $100 billion investment. And of course, that is backed by the fact that they can come here because they can avoid paying tariffs. So the idea is come to America, build greatness in America, build for the American customers, the Apple, NVIDIA, that whole list that
Chairman Wei gave in order to bring production to America. So we're really, really excited. This continues the most incredible path you've ever seen in these first weeks and months of the Trump administration of incredible manufacturing coming to America. The keys that the president has called out are coming here. They're coming here in huge size because they want to be in the greatest market in the world, and they want to avoid the tariffs that if they're not here, they'd have to suffer. So I want to congratulate CC Wei for bringing in this incredible $100 billion investment, but it's on the shoulders of our President Donald Trump, which is why he's coming. So thank you.
Thank you.
That could not have been said any better. At the end of the day, they're coming here to avoid the tariffs. Plain and simple. It wouldn't have happened if it was Biden. They would have stayed in Taiwan and did the same thing. But they realize the market that they're going in and the U.S. market that they're going in. This is you have to buy. I don't see how you don't buy unless you don't like NVIDIA, unless you don't like AI, unless you don't like money. I really like this company. I love what they just did. I'm gonna keep updating it with it, and I bought it today. You want to wait till the tariffs release might drop, recession might come, who knows, whatever. Buy it, please. As a young investor, this is the way to go. You have to take risks. It's not a number one, but it is top. Obviously it's top. Obviously it's a big valuation. They just spent $100 billion in a company. In the U.S. They just spent $100 billion in investments. So obviously it is a big company. It is well known. But at the end of the day, it's still a company that their PE is not, it's not crazy, and the progress will only go up, especially if what they're doing is avoiding tariffs. It's just they're going in the right direction. I don't know. There's obviously I've talked about a lot of factors that you don't like to see from them, but I feel like the progress and the pros just weigh out the cons here. So a lot of the key points talked about here at the end of the day is just an AI company that, it's still under the radar. I don't care what you say. It's not being talked about enough when it should. Obviously today we got talked about a lot because of the investment, but I feel like it still has a long way to go here. And AI still has a long way to go, and this is point out, another key point talked on this video, research, man. Like articles I'm watching, the YouTube, obviously you can do it with me, but I encourage you to, for any stock that you're going to buy or potentially buy, you have to know what you're buying. You have to research what the stock is going through, what's going around it, all these factors you must know and just keep in mind. And really, so, that's what we do here. We research stocks, and at the end of the day, if you like it, you don't like it, but at least you know about a stock. You don't have to buy. You don't have to tail. You can fade. Just don't buy. I wouldn't buy options against it, but yeah. That's the end of the video. Please, especially starting out, I support. My support for my viewers right now is big. So, really, I appreciate you for watching this video, especially since it's the start. I really appreciate you guys. I'm doing the best I can. Tell me quality, whatever I can do to improve the content that you make me want to see from me, what I can buy, anything, just let me know. I really support you guys' support right now. And thank you guys so much for watching this video, truly.